Nigeria is so marriage centered. It is so marriage centered. We need to decentralize marriage in this country. Leave me the hell alone. Marriage is not for everybody. Hi my loves, hi butterfly, welcome back to my channel. Come on in, get comfortable. It's Lydia Stanley here, fondly called Mrs. M by my lovely babies. I love you so much and I want to talk to you more in this segment or this episodes you're going to be having from me. So this first one that we're going to be chatting about, because I'm just going to go straight into it, we're going to call it Letters to my younger sister or my younger self. And I'm going to play something because this video made me really think about wanting to talk to you butterflies, and I said, okay, why not come here and talk to you? So I'm just going to play it and we're just going to watch it together.
Imagine working so hard, not getting distracted by life all through, just so that you can become successful. With your parents putting you through a good school, you're resisting the pleasures of this world at this point. Then you become successful. And then you can give your parents the life that they've always wanted. You're living your life lavishly. You have the cars, you have the house, you have everything. And then when you get to the stage of marriage, the society tells you reduce your standards so you can get a partner. Try to hide the things you have, be a bit more humble so that you can get married. And just so you know, the worst thing you can do is really reduce that standard. Because, see, you've hid all those wealth, you've hid the clothes, you've hid the bags, you've hid everything, and then you eventually get married. You will suffer. You're bound to suffer. Why? Because if these people get intimidated by wealth, you will be punished for that wealth inside that marriage. You will cry. Anyway, this is your sign just not to reduce your standards. If you have what you have, go for what you want. If you cannot find what you want, stay alone. Else you will be punished for that thing you have.
So I went ahead to leave a comment, and that's why I wanted to come and talk about the comment, because on Henrietta's post, Henrietta is so beautiful. She's one of the girls on my agency right now. I am putting together an agency of beautiful female influencers. For now, I'm female. So if you are in the beauty and makeup and fashion niche, and right now you're open to accepting makeup PR to create content, I'm still working on getting paid gigs for us, of course, but makeup PR, clothing PR to get to make content, and those things are yours, sign me or send me a message. But I'm going to read my comments. Trust me, 6 years married here. I've always thought this butterfly, all of you that were with me on my wedding day, 6 years married though. Is it not a joke? Is it not a joke? How did we even get here? All you butterflies, if you're on my wedding vlog, leave a comment down below. Trust me, 6 years married here. I've always told my mom when she kept telling me to get married at 16. I fought for myself, even with all the suitors that came my way. I knew never to settle. I told my mom marriage is not for everyone, so she let me breathe till I met my husband, my soulmate, the one God made to a T for me. They had said he did not exist, that I had my eyes set on a fairy tale. But here I am, so glad I waited in capital and focused on me while I did. And that comment got over 400 likes, which is one of my top liked comments on social media. I don't like talking on social media because you don't know how some people will perceive what you have to say. But I have things to say, and you're going to listen to it. If you don't want to, please keep scrolling. So really early on, I wouldn't even blame my mom because she got married early, right? So that's her reality and she thinks her girl should go through that. But really early on, she would tell me about marriage at 16. And I remember every time she said it, I was scared. How can you be telling me about marriage? I don't know anything. I don't know myself. I have not built my self-confidence. I have not built my finances. I have not lived life. She'll say, oh, it's not that you're very young. It's easy for you to be captured. Why are you trying to capture me? I want to fly. I want to be in the wind. Why? And people were coming to get married to me at that age. This is what was crazy to me. Like, what do you want to do with a child? I fought for myself. At some point when I was in my NYC, I was already making money because me, I would never ask, let me know if you want me to talk about that, being financially secure in yourself. But I would never ask a man for money when I was dating them. Before I met my husband, of course, I've been enjoying chopping his money. But before I met my husband, I worked very hard for my money. So I'm thinking, my mom is seeing me making money. I'm still living with my parents at this point. You're seeing me making money. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to say, oh, this is my baby girl. She's working towards becoming financially independent. You're not supposed to be telling me that, oh, all these things you're getting, all these things, all these experiences you're having, because there's a point I was like, I can't go under the sun again, mommy. Stop sending me under the sun to the market. It's too hot. If we can't plan the night before, let me go in the market in the morning before the sun comes up. I won't go when the sun is hot. And she'll say, oh, this one you're talking like this. Hope you marry a husband that can tolerate that. Bro, my husband is the one that goes to the market for us in this house. I have never stepped out under the sun. And that's just one example, because I took my time to wait for somebody that would care enough for me to say, oh, baby, I don't want to see you stressed. It looks like it's just that I did this, man. That's how good the love is. And I'm so happy I waited, because my mom was looking at me growing up. I was adding weight, voluptuous baby. She would say things like, oh, if you get bigger than this, men won't find you attractive. Hello? My husband is obsessed with me and every curve on my body. Even before he came and he was obsessed, I was learning to be obsessed with myself. That's something I wish I learned earlier. This is letters to my younger self or my younger sister. Right now, if you're like me and you want marriage, of course, I've always wanted marriage. I told my mom marriage is not for everyone, so she will leave me alone. But I've always wanted to love somebody the way I love my husband now, and be in that one-on-one relationship. We are faithful to each other. We show up for each other. But before this time, I told my mom, leave me the hell alone. Marriage is not for everybody. That day she was so shocked, because every day my mom would come and tell me about marriage. Every day I came back from work. Do you know how stressful that is? Do you know how stressful that is to deal with? Or when I went to meet my mom-in-law, and then I'll now start washing the plates so that she'll accept me. My mom-in-law loves me. She calls me beautiful. But we're giving a scenario here. Imagine doing that and not being able to carry that on for a long time. Like, just imagine. Which is what I never did that, but people do that. They go and pretend that they can do a lot of work, when in reality we are soft babes and we can't do a lot of work. Don't send me to wash no clothes. I cannot do it. I don't have my nails on now, but I'm always on my nails. Those nails are not for stress. There's a dry cleaner and washing machine for a reason. So this is me telling you now, if you're dating someone and the first thing he's telling you is, hey, big mama, hey, big madam, that kind, you have money, and he doesn't, run. That is red flag number one. He's an insecure bitch that is going to make sure that you're stressed, you suffer in that relationship and that marriage. You're trying to boost his ego. You're trying to hide and give him money under the table when you go for a date. As per, you're the one paying for the bill, but you're trying to hide. I'm talking because I did it. And I'm telling you, don't waste your time on those kind of people, because they are rubbish. They are rubbish. They are rubbish. They are rubbish. They will run you down. They will block all the places you need to get to in this life and grow as a woman. If you were supposed to make a stride that is 10,000 steps ahead in the future, these people will make sure that you are stuck in the past. They don't want you to progress. They don't want you to have your own money. If you have your own money, insecurity will make them want to kill you in that marriage. So please, as you are dating somebody, because when I realized this, I realized that, oh, okay, thank God though that I waited and used my big eye in 26 to choose my husband. But you that I'm talking to now that is still hoping for marriage, the whole society, everybody's telling you marriage, everywhere is so, Nigeria is so marriage centered. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it is so marriage centered. We need to decentralize marriage in this country, but we have not yet come to that discussion yet. This discussion today is to tell you, as you are getting to know that man that you think you want to spend the rest of your life with, don't compromise. Don't let him think that you're a sufferhead when you're not. Don't let him think you know how to do certain hard labor when you do not. Don't let him think you tolerate him talking down on your body. Don't let him think you tolerate him talking down on your finances, on your sources of income. I had people belittle my YouTube channel that has taken care of me for years when you didn't even give me a kobo. I had people talk down on my YouTube channel like, you're just sitting down and making videos. How is that even a serious job? Hello? Put body if easy. That's what I tell them though. My husband loves my job and he helps me out when he does. And that's how I know he takes me serious, because everything about me is very serious to him. Very, very serious. Like, oh, we have to take this as the decree that the queen has spoken. It must happen. And I don't take that for granted, because I didn't used to have that in my past relationships. Don't lie, yo. Don't pretend. Don't hide your bags. Don't hide your luxury. If you're even someone that doesn't have money now, but you know that your future self is going to love money, start doing things in place that will make you have your own money, so that you will not be tolerating those kind of people all in the name of they are giving you the lifestyle. That is another talk for another day. Let me know if you want me to talk about more topics. Leave me ideas in the comments. I really just want this to be a heartfelt discussion with you, telling you not to settle that fairy tale, that man that you think is the one for you, that you have imagined, that you've prayed to God for, down to the T, down to how he will satisfy you, down to how he's going to be faithful to you, to how he's going to show you the love God has for you, because he's replicating that in his daily life. Like, I look at my husband and say, Kai, God, you love me. For you to have prepared this person for me. You love me so much, God. You're such a girl dad. And I want every person watching me to be able to experience that. Till then, focus on getting your money. Focus on enjoying yourself. Buy your car. The worst is the one where they tell you don't buy a car, you will not find a husband. They are mad. They are all mad. The husband that will come in that caliber you have lifted up yourself is different. The husband will not be the one that will be stressing that you have a car when he's supposed to be the one buying you more cars. Does that make sense? You see, like, you just need to rise above the madness. Like, if you see a man that is stressing about you having a car, leave him there and go. Don't be trying to hide your car or give him your car to drive because he doesn't have. You will see sufferhead in that marriage. You will see when. I recently heard that someone in her marriage, she was the one going to school with her baby, carrying the babies, their twin babies, to school and back on public transport, and the man has 2 cars. Do you see sufferhead in that? If she had waited and had her money, you think she'd be going through that rubbish? You think she would have even accepted that man? And he would rather they sleep in the school, in the mosquito infested lecturers lecture hall, than to come and pick them and take them home after a late lecture so that she's safe on the road. It's literally the basic things, y'all. You cannot expect a man that is badly behaved to become good because he's talking to you. There's so much involved in picking somebody that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So much. He needs to be kind, number one. He needs to be kind. In his kindness, he will see you in your most vulnerable state and he will administer kindness to you. Even before love, even before romance. kindness. You need a kind partner. So many people marry people that hate them. Your partner hates you and you want to marry. If I keep yapping, we're going to have a really long session today. But let me know if you want to see me tomorrow with another juicy topic. Leave them in the comments. I'll pick out one and talk about it. If not, I'll talk about the ones I have written down. I love you, butterflies, so much. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. And I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Remember that you're the prize. Don't let this man run you streets. Bye.